Day 13 of Drawing Doctor Who. The 13th Doctor is an incarnation of the Doctor, the fictional protagonist of the BBC science fiction television programme, Doctor Who. She is portrayed by English actress Jodie Whittaker, the first woman to portray the character, starring in 3 series as well as 5 specials. Whittaker's portrayal of the 13th Doctor has been met with praise, though her tenure as the Doctor was considered divisive, particularly regarding changes to the series' established lore. Within the series' narrative, the Doctor is a millennia-old, alien Time Lord from the planet Gallifrey, with somewhat unknown origins, who travels in time and space in their TARDIS, frequently with companions. At the end of life, the Doctor regenerates. As a result, the physical appearance and personality of the Doctor change. Whittaker's incarnation is a light-hearted adventurer with a passion for building things, placing a high value on friendships and striving for non-violent solutions. This incarnation's first companions were the trio of dyspraxic part-time warehouse worker Ryan Sinclair, Tosin Cole, his step-grandfather and retired bus driver Graham O'Brien, Bradley Walsh, and probationary police officer Yasmin Khan, Mandip Gill, all of whom she met shortly after her regeneration. After splitting up with the first 2, she travels with Yasmin and food bank volunteer Dan Lewis, John Bishop. She also had 1-episode reunions with former companions Captain Jack Harkness, John Barrowman, Tegan Javanka, Janet Fielding, and Ace, Sophie Aldred. In January 2016, Stephen Moffat announced that he would leave the show after the 10th series. He was set to be replaced by new showrunner, Chris Chibnall. Peter Capaldi confirmed a year later that the 10th series would be his last as well. Following this news, several media reports and bookmakers had speculated as to who would replace Capaldi as the 13th Doctor. Bookmakers' favorites included Ben Whishaw, Phoebe Waller-Bridge, Chris Marshall, and Tilda Swinton. The concept of a female Doctor was first mentioned in 1981, when Tom Baker suggested his successor might be female, after announcing the end of his tenure as the 4th Doctor. Producer, John Nathan Turner, later discussed the possibility of casting a woman as the 6th Doctor to replace the departing Peter Davison's 5th Doctor, claiming it was feasible, but not something he was considering at the moment. In October 1986, during the transmission of Colin Baker's final season as the 6th Doctor, series creator, Sidney Newman, wrote to BBC controller, Michael Grade, with a suggestion that, at a later stage, Doctor Who should be metamorphosed into a woman. Dawn French, Joanna Lumley, and Frances de la Tour were suggested by Newman in 1986 for the role, but were dismissed by the BBC. Lumley later appeared as a satirical version of the 13th Doctor in the 1999 comic relief special, The Curse of Fatal Death. Arabella Weir also played an alternative 3rd Doctor in the Doctor Who Unbound Big Finish episode, Exile. Neither portrayal is typically considered to be within the show's main continuity. Producer, Jane Tranter, also considered casting Judi Dench as the 9th Doctor. Helen Mirren was suggested for the role of the 12th Doctor. The concept of Time Lords changing sex upon regeneration was seeded throughout Moffat's tenure as showrunner. Just after regenerating, the 11th Doctor exclaims, "I'm a girl?" In the 2011 episode, The Doctor's Wife, the Doctor recalls a Time Lord acquaintance known as the Corsair, who had at least 2 female incarnations. In the 2013 short, The Night of the Doctor, the Sisterhood of Karn offer a dying 8th Doctor, Paul McGann, control over his inevitable regeneration, with man or woman being touted as possibilities. The first on-screen cross-gender regeneration was shown in the 2015 episode, Hell-Bent, in which a white male Gallifreyan general, Ken Bones, regenerates into a black woman, Tania Miller, who states that her previous incarnation was the only time she had been a man. The most notable Time Lord to have appeared in both male and female forms prior to Whittaker's casting is the Doctor's nemesis, the Master, portrayed from 2014 to 2017 by Scottish actress, Michelle Gomez. This version of the character was known as Missy, short for Mistress. The 10th series finale, World Enough and Time, /The Doctor Falls, addresses cross-gender regeneration several times. The Doctor tells his companion Bill Potts, Pearl Mackie, that Missy was his first man crush, and adds that he is only fairly sure he himself was male at the time, although the remark may have been flippant. 2 years prior to the announcement of Whittaker's casting, fans and scholars discussed the possibility of a female doctor and analyzed the benefits of such a regeneration. When referring to whether the new doctor would be a woman, incoming Doctor Who showrunner Chris Chibnall originally was quoted in February 2017, as saying, "Nothing is ruled out, but I don't want the casting to be a gimmick, and that's all I can say." On July 14, 2017, the BBC announced that the portrayer of the 13th Doctor would be revealed after the 2017 Wimbledon Championships men's finals on July 16, 2017. Whittaker was introduced as the 13th Doctor on July 16 and subsequently made her debut in the 2017 Christmas special, Twice Upon a Time, and starring in the 11th series. On Whittaker's casting, Chibnall said, "I always knew I wanted the 13th Doctor to be a woman, and we're thrilled to have secured our #1 choice. Her audition for the Doctor simply blew us all away." Later on in his statement, Chibnall called Whittaker an in-demand, funny, inspiring, supersmart force of nature, and said that she will bring loads of wit, strength, and warmth to the role. In November 2018, BBC confirmed that the 12th series, Whittaker's second series, began production in November 2018. The series premiere aired on January 1, 2020. Whittaker continued on in the role for the 13th series. Whittaker and Chibnall stated they will exit the show following the 13th series and 3 specials, which aired through 2022. Chibnall said, "Jodie and I made a 3 series and out packed with each other at the start of this once-in-a-lifetime blast. So now our shift is done, and we're handing back the TARDIS keys. Jodie's magnificent, iconic Doctor has exceeded all our high expectations." She was succeeded by her Broadchurch co-star David Tennant, who previously portrayed the 10th Doctor, as the 14th Doctor. Interviewed by Radio Times, Chibnall described the 13th Doctor as absolutely the Doctor, but there's a new calibration, a new mixture of doctorishness. The 13th Doctor is incredibly lively, warm, funny, energetic, inclusive. She's the greatest friend you could wish to have as your guide around the universe. In the same article, Whittaker also added that her Doctor speaks at 100 miles an hour, while actress Mandip Gill, who plays companion Yasmin Khan, commented that Whittaker's Doctor has a similar energy to Matt Smith's Doctor. "Very high energy. Jodie has that about her Doctor." In the minute-long clip in which the casting of Jodie Whittaker was announced, she wears a grey overcoat over a black hoodie. The first images of Whittaker's official costume as the Doctor were released to the media on November 9, 2017. The 13th Doctor's costume features blue high-waisted culottes with yellow braces, a navy blue t-shirt with a rainbow stripe across it, a lilac blue trenchcoat with a hood, brown lace-up boots, blue socks and piercings on her left ear. Some fans noted that the outfit had similarities to earlier Doctor's costumes, with others comparing it to Robin Williams' costume in the American sitcom Mork and Mindy. Whittaker stated that she worked with the show's costume designer Ray Holman, who had also worked before with Whittaker on Broadchurch, to come up with her outfit, inspired by a photograph that she had found online. The photograph had been published in a 1988 issue of Sassy showing a number of female models in men's clothing, with the specific photo of a woman in trousers, braces and a t-shirt, walking with a purpose. Whittaker said she just loved the androgyny of it, without it being masculine, and that felt intriguing and kind of open to interpretation, and I really love that. Additional elements drew out from the photograph. Whittaker wanted a coat that flowed with her actions and gave her pockets but otherwise did not have any fasteners, and she wanted some color within the outfit but without going too cartoonish. Holman added violet to the inside of the coat's sleeves, a reference to the violet and green colors of the suffragettes. The 13th Doctor makes her debut in the closing moments of 2017 Christmas special, Twice Upon a Time. After regenerating, the Doctor falls out of the TARDIS and, in series premiere, The Woman Who Fell to Earth, 2018, lands in modern-day Sheffield, where she befriends retired bus driver Graham O'Brien, Bradley Walsh, his wife's grandson Ryan Sinclair, Tosin Cole, and police officer Yasmin Khan, Mandip Gill, with whom she successfully repels an alien hunter from the warlike Stenza race. The Doctor builds a device to return her to the TARDIS, but accidentally teleports her new friends with her. The group help retrieve the TARDIS on an alien world in The Ghost Monument. After a trip to segregation-era Alabama in Rosa, Graham, Ryan, and Yaz agree to being full-time companions in Arachnids in the UK. Subsequent trips include visiting Yaz's grandmother in 1947, witnessing the partition of India in Demons of the Punjab, preventing a plan to kill millions galaxy-wide as part of a labor protest, in Kerblam, and repelling an alien invasion alongside James VI and I in Jacobean Lancashire, in The Witchfinders. In series finale, The Battle of Ranscore Avenue Colos, the Doctor is drawn into a second confrontation with the Stenza she faced in Sheffield. In the New Year's Day special, Resolution, 2019, her friends encounter a Dalek for the first time when it is awakened by archaeologists in Sheffield. The Dalek is defeated before it can signal a broader Dalek invasion of Earth. In Spyfall, 2020, the Doctor faces off against the regenerated Master, Sacha Dhawan, who reveals that he has destroyed their home planet of Gallifrey in revenge for the Time Lords having lied to them about their species' origins, concerning a story of the timeless child. In Fugitive of the Judun, the Doctor learns her former companion Jack Harkness, John Barrowman, has sent her a warning: do not give the lone Cyberman what it wants, just as she was encountering a past incarnation of herself, played by Joe Martin, that she has no recollection of being. The Doctor ignores Jack's warning in The Haunting of Villa Diodati, when the Doctor gives a partially converted Cyberman, Patrick O'Kane, from the future a compendium containing all knowledge of the fallen Cyber Empire, in order to save the life of Percy Shelley, Lewis Rayner, and protect human history. The Doctor and her friends pursue the lone Cyberman to the future in the aftermath of the Cyber Wars in Ascension of the Cybermen, where he has set in motion a plan to rebuild the Cyber Empire and wipe out all life in the universe. As the last fragments of humanity face destruction at the hands of the Cybermen, the Doctor is pulled through a portal to Gallifrey by the Master in The Timeless Children, where she learns of a radical cover-up of her origins. She is in fact the Timeless Child, an orphan from an unknown world whose unique power to regenerate was studied and replicated by her adopted mother, whose people used it to build the Time Lord Empire. The Time Lords then forced her to work for them as an agent of the secretive Division for many years before erasing her memories. The Doctor defeats the Master's plan to conquer the universe with a new race of Cybermaster, Cyberman Time Lord hybrids, but is then arrested by the Judun. She is broken out of prison by Jack Harkness in the New Year's Day special, Revolution of the Daleks, 2021, and with his help the TARDIS crew prevent an attempted takeover of Earth by clones of the Dalek discovered in Sheffield. Following this adventure, Jack, Ryan, and Graham choose to stay behind on Earth, leaving Yaz as the Doctor's sole traveling companion. In Series 13, 2021, titled Flux, the Doctor and Yaz are joined by new companion Dan Lewis, John Bishop, as Swarm. Sam Spruill, an enemy from the Doctor's forgotten past as a Division agent, returns to take revenge upon her. At the same time, the Flux, a cosmic event that has the power to destroy entire galaxies, rips through the universe, and Sontarans, Daleks, Cybermen, and Weeping Angels begin amassing. Swarm and his sister Azure attempt to trap the universe in a loop where it will be continually destroyed by the Flux, while the Sontarans attempt to survive it by having the combined matter of the Daleks and Cybermen's fleets absorb and stop the Flux. An alien race called the Lupari, meanwhile, defend the Earth from the Flux. The Doctor manages to split herself into 3 temporal entities, one letting herself be tortured by Swarm at Division, while the other 2 sabotage the Sontarans' plan so that they are destroyed with the Daleks and the Cybermen, before the Doctor safely redirects the Flux. The crisis concludes with Dan joining the Doctor and Yaz as a full-time companion, but the Doctor is troubled by a warning that her end is nearing. In Legend of the Sea Devils, 2022, Yaz confesses to the Doctor that she holds romantic feelings for her, which the Doctor acknowledges but discourages Yaz from acting on, as it will only lead to heartbreak. In The Power of the Doctor, the Master returns alongside his Cybermasters in an alliance with the Daleks to eliminate the Doctor once and for all by stealing her body through a forced regeneration. Although defeated narrowly by Yaz and some of the Doctor's friends and past companions, the Master is able to land a fatal laser attack on the Doctor. When her regeneration process starts, she chooses to spend some quality time with Yaz before parting ways with her one last time. Alone, the Doctor regenerates overlooking the view from Durdle Door, and is surprised to find their new body is the same as an old one, played by David Tennant. New series Adventures released 3 novels starring the 13th Doctor, Graham O'Brien, Ryan Sinclair and Yasmin Khan in October/November 2018, The Good Doctor, Molten Heart, and Combat Magics. A novel targeted at younger readers, The Secret in Vault 13, was published that November by BBC Children's Books. The 13th Doctor cameos in Tom Baker's and James Goss' 2019 Doctor Who novel Scratchman. At Childhood's End, published in February 2020, is written by Sophie Aldred, who previously played the 7th Doctor's companion Ace, and features an adult Ace reuniting with the 13th Doctor to investigate a threat that links to the circumstances that prompted Ace to leave the 7th Doctor, the reunion with the 13th Doctor encouraging Ace to reconsider her relationship with the Doctor. Doctor Who, The Runaway is a VR game released for Oculus Rift and HTC Vive in 2019, and via Steam in 2020. Fan reaction to Whittaker's casting was largely positive, although a sizable minority protested that the Doctor shouldn't be played by a woman. Some said that a female Doctor would be a good role model for young girls, while others felt the Doctor was only ever meant to be male, or criticized the casting as an exercise in political correctness. During the Doctor Who panel at the 2017 San Diego Comic-Con International, outgoing showrunner Stephen Moffat denied there had been a backlash over Whittaker's casting, and said there was 80% approval on social media. Moffat commented, "It strikes me that Doctor Who fans are more excited about the idea of a brilliant actress playing the part than the fact she's a woman. It's been incredibly progressive and enlightened." Guardian journalist Zoe Williams described Whittaker's casting as the revolutionary feminist we need right now, lauding the decision as the difference between tolerating modernity and embodying it. Williams compared the casting of a female Doctor to other examples of the show-breaking, cultural taboo, mentioning companions Captain Jack Harkness, John Barrowman, and Bill Potts, Pearl Mackie, as examples of the show's diversity. Reaction among former Doctor Who actors was largely positive. Colin Baker, who portrayed the 6th Doctor, quoting his own character in his introductory stories The Caves of Androzani and The Twin Dilemma, tweeted, "Change my dears and not a moment too soon, she is the Doctor whether you like it or not." In an opinion piece for The Guardian, Baker wrote that he had never been able to think of any logical reason why the Doctor could not be a woman, and described himself as shocked that some fans of the show were vowing not to watch again due to Whittaker's casting. Conversely, Peter Davison, who portrayed the 5th Doctor, stated that the casting would mean the loss of a role model for boys. Nevertheless, he noted that Whittaker is a terrific actress and would do a wonderful job in the role. Baker and Davison argued over the casting at the 2017 San Diego Comic-Con. Tom Baker, who portrayed the 4th Doctor, reacted positively to the news. However, he warned that if the audience were to lose interest, Whittaker should be replaced. "I think it might be quite nice to have a woman. But you, BBC, just test it. If the audience don't like it then just kill her off. Nobody has ever failed by the way, nobody has, it's just how it is." Freema Agyeman, who played Martha Jones between 2007 and 2010, said she was astounded by the negative reception from some fans, noting that the show's history of change was key to its strength and longevity. Other former cast members Christopher Eccleston, Sylvester McCoy, Katie Manning, David Tennant, Billie Piper, Karen Gillan and John Barrowman reacted positively to the news. Whittaker has received positive reviews for her portrayal of the Doctor. Ed Power of The Independent applauded her introduction in The Woman Who Fell to Earth, commenting, "Whittaker is a force of breezy nature, rambunctious, quirky but with a reassuring familiar aura of Gallifreyan uncanniness." Adding upon this he stated, "Still, she's soon in her stride with a turn that swerves satisfyingly between whimsical and tomboyish." Morgan Jeffrey of Digital Spy called her debut performance "terrific" and "fizzling with energy." Ben Lawrence of The Telegraph commented, "Whittaker is a breath of fresh air, a talented, emotionally engaged actress who brings warmth and humanity to a show that was largely in danger of disappearing up its own black hole. From the outset, she proves to be a charismatic presence, righting alien wrongs in the gleaming metropolis of Sheffield, of all places. Likeable, funny, as brave as a lion, Whittaker's Doctor has ushered in a new era for this 55-year-old show, with a remarkable level of assurance." Radio Time's Flora Carr commented, "She's channeled the best elements of recent Doctors, Matt Smith's whimsy, David Tennant's frenetic energy, Peter Capaldi's wry humor, but above all, she's made the role her own." Mark Braxton also said, "Jodie's Doctor is a whirlwind of likability and energy, a tour de force that has relaunched the show with panache." BBC drama controller Piers Wenger told Radio Times his opinion of Whittaker's performance, stating it was intensely moral, a little distracted and bursting with energy. "She's both the Doctor we know and a new version of the Time Lord. Gone is the daffiness and idiosyncrasy of her predecessors in favor of a Doctor with energy, spark and relatability." Whittaker's tenure as the Doctor has been considered divisive, with praise for the series' improved production values, but criticism for the script's characterization, and the retcon of the Doctor's origins in the episode The Timeless Children. For the 23rd Satellite Awards, Whittaker received a nomination for Best Actress in a Series, Drama/Genre. Whittaker was also nominated at the National Television Awards in the Best Dramatic Performance category, in the TV Choice Awards in the Best Actress category, at the iTalk Telly Awards in the Best Dramatic Performance category, and she won the Heat Magazine Unmissable Award for Actress of the Year. In 2019, Whittaker received a Saturn Award nomination for Best Actress on Television for her performance in the 11th series, making her the third person to receive a Saturn Award nomination for playing the Doctor after Paul McGann and David Tennant. Stay tuned for the next Doctor.